Deep underground, the Jelly Belly factory, BB is in her secret laboratory creating the weird and wild flavors of Bean Boozled.
I've done it again!
Is it pomegranate or old bandage? Dare to compare. Bean Boozled, 6th edition. Are you brave enough?
All right, that's it! That's it! You two guys leave me no choice. No television for a week. What?
We are so serious, guys.
You're fucking high! Are you out of your mind?
Goes in Robert's wall safe,
On.
and it's gonna stay there.
No!
On this episode of The Commercial Break.
Help us
For the
get
cost
them
of a cup of coffee a
for,
day.
yeah, for the cost of 1 cup of coffee a day. You can feed these two podcasters. And make them realize their dreams will never come true.
It'll pay for therapy.
Stop the suffering. Not their suffering, our suffering.
You know the movie scenes where the guy
Yes.
lifts the girl up and is
Yes.
holding her by her butt, you know, without any kind. The 50 Shades of Grey and that Dorman guy.
that
is,
takes
you know,
some muscle.
That takes some muscle. That takes some real strength.
It really does.
And I'm
but
telling you
not
right now,
weightless.
For me, when gravity is involved in anything, I'm having a hard time. Right? I just can't lift anything.
Their potential academically, economically, religiously, chaos, potentially. And so they weren't going to take that chance.
Chaos.
Everything's flat! My whole world has changed except nothing changed.
The next episode of The Commercial Break starts now.
Yeah, cats and kittens, welcome back to another episode of Commercial Break. I'm Bryan Green. This is my dear friend and co-host, Kristen Joy Hoadley. Best to you, Krissy.
Best to you, Bryan.
And best to you out there in the podcast universe. How the hell are you? Thanks for joining us on yet another episode of this, The Commercial Break. It's not for everyone, but fact, news, or fiction. Guaranteed in 1 minute or less or your money back. Go to the brand new PCBpodcast.com to collect your winnings. I did it. I did it. Look at me. I trudged through. Every time we open this show, I'm like, do I remember everything? I got to go through this whole list of stuff. How did our intro get so bloated? How did it get so bloated?
I actually
what
think
did I
it's
do?
less than it used to be. There
Oh,
was
do
at
you?
one point where it was like really, really long.
Oh, was it? What was
Yeah.
What were we saying then?
Well,
Or what was I saying then?
I don't know, we may have been saying follow us on Clubhouse, go to Instagram, go
Oh,
to
yeah, the
TCB,
whole nine yards. Well-
da-da-da-da.
Well, that's when we put the liners in the show, and that would sometimes last 15 to 20 minutes. We would just drag on about it, and I was realizing that half the show was us talking about where to find the show when they were listening to the show. I mean, it was like so stupid. It was so fucking stupid. So that's when I decided to take it and put it into commercial format, right?
Yes.
I see there's a lot of podcasts out there that do their commercials one way. They'll be in the middle of a conversation and they'll go, that brings up a good point. I love using Megaphone 3000. It's like, Megaphone 3000 is
Yes,
one of my
they do.
favorite things. Is they don't really specify when the advertisements are. It's clear that they're doing an advertisement to their credit, I guess. But what I have made a conscious decision to do is put it all in commercial format. So that
And that's what they do at audible.com.
Yeah.
And that's why we here at the commercial break always use Audible.
Yes. That's why our favorite platform for commercials is audible.com. Hey, Krissy, did you know you can get audible.com for half off right now if you use the code TCB? It's just a strange coincidence. Yeah, that's why I made a conscious decision to do that, because when I'm talking on this microphone for so long about where to find the show, and this microphone, by the way, does a great job. I mean,
These microphones are
clear and
incredible.
crystal, and it's got low bottoms and high highs, and I'd like to thank Shitty Mike 3000 for... I'm just kidding. Hey, and it just takes so much preparation to get the show set up. Like these ring lights now available on Amazon.com for.
Follow the link in bio.
I gotta turn on the Roku TV behind me. Roku for all your favorite shows. Make sure you use Roku. Splash the commercial break randomly.
Yes.
But I put them into commercial format so that because I don't want to dumb down the listeners. I know that they know, and it's an endorsement nonetheless. But that's what it is. But so I thought a good way to start that pack of commercial breaks was to actually do a commercial for the commercial break, an absurd comedy podcast from Bryan and Krissy. Two friends get together every week.
It's not for everyone.
It's not for everyone, but go to the
we're right
commercialbreaktcbpodcast.com for more information.
We're right here.
We're right here. Speaking of right here, I'm wearing a t-shirt from Hanes. Now we're doing commercials for people that don't even pay us in the hopes that we'll get free shit. We were talking about, remember like the the snack companies were sending us a bunch of stuff at one point?
Yes.
So Astrid was like,
Moon cheese
moon cheese and siesta chips.
Those tamales were crap, I have to say.
Well, I guess we're not getting that fourth quarter buy of the tamale company. I think one of the general rules about advertising is you don't talk about how crappy their shit is. But yes, the tamales gave me the runs. Yes.
Most everything else, though, has been very nice.
I have to say that at least 70% of the shit we talk about is no. I usually am all about the sponsors because they support the show, and 9 times out of 10, at least in the last 5 or 6 months,
support.
We need desperate support. That's why I'd like to thank Gary's Wire Shop for giving us these wires. Hey, they may not work all the time, but it's okay. No one's listening. Gary's Wire Shop when your podcast is not doing great.
Mediocre.
Yeah, thank you.
Mediocre Plus.
Yeah,
It's our
mediocre
new streaming service.
The commercial break proudly presents Mediocre Plus, the brand new streaming service from The Commercial Break. Catch all 215 episodes in their mediocre glory, with shitty sound quality and bad video editing.
Not now. Now we have Morgan.
Not now. We hired someone professional who's Morgan. If you'd like 15% off your video editing, go to Morgan.com.
Morgan.com.
Morgan.com. Oh, this is fun. We could do this all day long.
Yeah,
I could do a whole episode of commercials on the commercial break, which I actually thought about doing one time. But then I decided poor listeners have to suffer enough. And then when our sponsors get pissed that we were just doing commercials for the whole episode. Maybe not. Maybe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that if anybody who buys this podcast is making a mistake. They're like, what? I got on the commercial break? How did that happen?
It's like Disney.
There's a place where you could go and you can look at all the commercials that have run. There's like a repository, an encyclopedia, a Wikipedia, if you will, for all the commercials that have ever run on like the top 2,000 shows. Mm-hmm. By some miracle, we're in the top 2,000. And so they catalog all of our ads. Okay. And it's really surprising who's been advertising on our show. Because there's 2 types of ads. There's the type of ad that I talk about, right?
Yes.
Brian Green.
Post-read.
If you'd like Brian Green to play at your bar mitzvah or party next summer, call BrianGreen.com.
BrianGreen.com.
Can you imagine if I showed up at someone's bar mitzvah? Son, I got you Brian Green! Who? So there's this catalog of ads, and it's just...
I'm picturing you coming with like your Roadcaster
in my
and
hand.
The ring lights.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to do an episode of the commercial break.
Live from Bar Mitzvah.
Dad, I'll never go to school again. You hired that old bald guy to do unfunny material. I thought you said you were going to get Chris Rock. Well, Chris wasn't available. But I got Brian at 15% off at BrianGreen.com. We couldn't afford Krissy, but we got Bryan. So this repository of commercials and the amount, some of the people who have advertised on our show is quite amazing, because there's 2 types of ads. There's one that I talk about, and then there's the ones that get dynamically inserted into the program, and that's based on a lot of different information, geographics, and all this other stuff. And so YouTube, Disney Plus, Amazon, I mean, like the cream of the crop advertisers, big brand companies.
Yes.
And I wonder who gets fired every time that someone goes.
Disney was one.
Yeah, I noticed that Disney was a one and done. They were on our show one time. But that's probably because we have our competing service, TCB Mediocre Plus.
Right, Mediocre Plus.
Which, by the way, is like the third streaming service we've launched since we've had the commercial break.
Oh, right. What was the other one?
TCB plus plus or
TCB
something.
minus.
Oh, TCB minus. All your favorite content somewhere else.
Yes.
All the funny shows in the world, some on some other platform.
TCB minus.
TCB, the funny minus the funny.
The funny minus.
Yeah, the funny minus. It's just like a couple notches down from funny. It's like sad. Pathetic almost, yeah. I mean, it was somewhere between sad and pathetic.
These two podcasters struggling for almost all their lives to get one listener who will break their hearts and tell them the truth. For $5, you can support these two mediocre podcasters. Help
For
us
the
get
cost
them
of a cup of coffee a
for,
day.
yeah, for a cost of 1 cup of coffee a day. You can feed these two podcasters. And make them realize their dreams will never come true.
It'll pay for therapy.
Stop the suffering. Not their suffering, our suffering. Millions of people around the world suffering today. They downloaded the commercial break. Bryan and Krissy won't stop the carnage until we do something. For the cost of a cup of coffee a day, we can hire Anonymous to take their RSS feed off the internet. Be part of the cause. Oh, so much fun. Yeah, anyway. Hey, I saw that you can't jizz when you're in space.
What?
I saw that you can't jizz when you're in space. Did
Really?
you see this?
No.
NASA has now put out an actual recommendation, like a rule, that when you're in the space station or wherever you happen to be flying,
No jizzing allowed?
no jizzing allowed, because they're afraid that the female astronauts
Would it just
may
fly
get
into
impregnated.
space, too?
I just didn't even think about that. Yeah.
It just float?
Yeah, if you
Away.
well, you know how if you breathe on something in space, it's like it accelerates past the
Yes.
sun or some shit. I don't know how gravity works, but you know.
There is no gravity.
And then there's no gravity depending on where you are, but if you blow on something, then you'll keep on going
Yeah.
forever and ever, right?
Exactly.
Like that's the stupid
Lost
car
in
that
space.
Elon Musk threw up there, and now it's just hurtling towards some alien planet to kill other alien people. But they said that they have a real fear that a female astronaut could get impregnated by flying semen.
Okay.
And
Don't they wear suits?
well, not when you masturbate. I mean, that's
No, but I mean, how would it just randomly happen that the woman would get
going to the bathroom.
No.
I mean, I'm being serious. Like going to the bathroom, but like I don't know the logistics of how that would
Yeah.
happen, and that's why it's a fascinating story to me. Is like, do they really think that the semen's just going to go floating up a chucha?
Yeah, I
it doesn't
don't-
have to be in like 24 hours or something. Like those little spermies, don't they die pretty quickly?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you would have to jizz. And then there would have to be some series of events that would lead to that semen making its way into a vagina and up into however you get pregnant. Because
Yes.
I went to
You missed
bad
that
school.
class?
Yeah, I missed that class.
You were out
That's
that
why I
day.
have 2 children. But you know,
It's very interesting.
it's very amazing. But it makes you think about like when you're in the space station for 3-4 months. One guy was up there for a year.
Yeah.
When you're there for all that period of time, do you get to? I mean, they must account for this. This must have been accounted for somewhere in the
got
mathematics.
to be.
Like, I mean, NASA's pretty smart bunch of people.
Yes.
And someone would have said, "What about the jizz? What are we going to
Right.
do about the jizz?
Yeah.
What are we going to do about the semen?
And they said not allowed.
Not allowed, or do it into the vacuum tube or something.
Oh,
like
okay.
that. I don't know, but there has
Nothing sexier than a vacuum
nothing
tube.
sexier than having sex with a vacuum tube.
In space.
When you jizz, do you float backwards?
Boom.
If you have sex in space, does the girl go flying across the room? I don't know. Or you could use
There
Boner
needs-
X3000.
There needs to be some kind of experimentation, I would
I
think,
agree.
going on this.
I think this is a cover
too.
up on behalf of NASA's part.
Yeah.
The moon landing and the jizz spewing. I think there's
Moon
got to
landing.
be something. There's got to be a notebook somewhere, a rule
Yeah.
in some handbook somewhere. You know, like the pilots have a checklist, right?
Yes.
There's a checklist somewhere. Please don't ejaculate on the spacecraft. Or if
Who's
you're going
monitoring that too?
They have cameras everywhere. I mean, you're not going to get away from it, right? But I guess you just, maybe there's a private room.
Look at me. Take that.
It feels so much better when you're weightless. Houston, we have a problem.
Yeah, there's got to be some kind of secret experimentation.
There's got to be some kind of secret documentation that the public just has not found out about. Because they put out a public statement like this.
Like us to intercourse in space.
Oh yeah, that's probably a big no-no. And probably really difficult to do.
But probably they've done it. They've tried it.
Had to have.
Somebody's tried it.
There had all the space shuttle missions and all of the time up there with the, you know, the Yuzhfinskys or whatever, the Russies, the Ruskies.
Yep.
You know that there's
somebody.
Yeah, there's some astronaut that was just hot to trot with some other, you know, that was that astronaut who literally wore diapers for 3 days while she drove to kill her lover.
Yes.
Yeah.
God.
I mean, that lady she really was in love with that guy.
Yeah.
Right? So if that's happening down here on Earth, imagine what's happening in space. You know, did you ever watch the movie about that lady?
No.
The movie that had not Katie Holmes, but I can't remember the name of the actress. Who's the actress that was in Black Swan? There was 2 actresses.
Oh, Natalie Portman?
Natalie Portman, and then the other one. The girl who was on that 70s show.
Oh, Mila Kunis.
Mila Kunis. Yes. I think. No, Natalie Portman was the girl who played. Natalie Portman.
It was Natalie Portman and Mila Kunis.
I know, but Natalie Portman played that astronaut in a movie that I watched.
Gotcha.
That was absolutely fascinating. It's well done.
Yeah.
And it kind of told the story of how when you leave Earth's atmosphere and you get up into space for a couple of days, your whole world changes.
I'm sure.
And it's very difficult to relate to people who have never been outside of space when you have that kind of perspective.
It's like a private club.
It's like a very private club, and you're mind fucked. Mm-hmm. And you're mind fucked in a way that you need comfort. You can't just walk into a therapist and say, hey, you know, remember that time we were all in space together? I mean, remember the time we were doing the semen experiments up in space? You can't do that.
Yeah.
And so this lady may have been driven in part by the fact that she was looking for comfort about space.
Okay.
She was looking for somebody to relate to.
Strap on some diapers and go.
Strap on some diapers and just head down to Tampa,
the
Florida.
The open road.
Yeah, you won't be the only one in Florida wearing diapers on the road. I'll tell you that much right now. And she went bananas. I mean,
she really did.
She went bananas over that one astronaut because they had spent some time in space, and I think together they had spent some time.
Maybe
See, that's it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and everybody knew about it, and it's a big fucking cover-up, right?
That's what I think.
There is boning going on in space, and we just don't know about it. And I want the stats on this. I want to understand how space affects our love life.
Yeah, give it up, NASA.
Because, if I'm going to be ejected out of this green planet because we're all destroying it left and right, my kids are going to be ejected into space to live out the rest of their lives. I want to know, are they going to be able to... who's accounting for the lovemaking?
Yeah.
And how are we getting it down? Are they putting special straps on? I don't mean strap-ons. I mean straps on so that you can have leverage.
Yes.
Right, because I imagine that's pretty hard, too.
That makes sense.
You two start floating away from each other and,
Yeah, you got to hold on.
Yeah, what position would you get in? Oh, yeah, like hold on tight. And that's just uncomfortable. I've done that a couple times. Just because I couldn't believe I was actually having sex.
It would be much easier, though, for the man to lift the woman,
That's true. Some of those positions you always dream about, but never get to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like the, double reverse cowboy or whatever it is. The movie scenes where the guy lifts the girl up and is holding her by her butt, without any kind, 50 Shades of Grey, and that Dorman guy
that takes some muscle.
That takes some muscle. That takes some real strength.
It really does.
I'm telling you
not
right now.
Weightless.
For me, when gravity is involved in anything, I'm having a hard time, right? I just can't lift anything. I need a bed involved somewhere, right? I can't even do it in the shower, and then forget about it. I try to do it in the ocean, and I float away. It's a whole thing. So if you're in space, you become a real rock star in the bed.
Yeah, you
man,
do.
woman, whatever
You're whatever position.
Fuck, man. Yeah.
Just float around.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love it.
Sounds fun.
I love it. And I admire the people who go to space.
SpaceX.
SpaceX. Call us, Elon. We're willing to do some experiment. Not us together, but we'll help you form. I actually have no desire to go into space, but we'll help you formulate.
We'll form a committee.
We'll form a committee. Mm-hmm. We've got a lot of treaties in place, like the Walkway Treaty of 2020, and I don't know, we have some other treaties in place. Still no one paying attention to that damn Walkway Committee. Walkway Treaty. No one. Not a fucking person signed it. You did. So it's 2 of us. But the only reason why I would ever want to go in space, is so I could have that moment of
seeing the
surreal,
Earth.
seeing the Earth and all of its
It
glory.
would be really beautiful.
Yeah,
I
like the
think.
ultimate view. But I just really am not interested in the travel and the risk and the danger. And
Seems like a lot.
Seems like such a lonely, empty place to me. And I don't want to be reminded of just how lonely and empty my life is because I mean, look at it. I'm the host of the commercial break. I'm already pretty down in the dumps. I'm already pretty low on the rung, okay, guys? But there are a lot of people that have been to space, and most of them report back to us here on Earth with pictures and videos and all this other stuff that the Earth is in fact round.
Yes, it is.
Yet there are
It's
still
a globe.
some nudniks out there. And if you're one of them, then here's your chance. I'm giving you. We're all going to talk about it together here on the commercial break.
We formed a committee.
We formed a committee. It's a Round Earth committee. The Round Earth Club over here. And I get it. I get wanting to be a contrarian and ask the tough questions and say the hard things. I understand
Challenge.
that. Yeah, I understand that.
Challenge.
Challenge convention, right? But what you don't do is you don't start a convention to challenge convention on something that no one has ever debated ever in the history of ever since fucking Copernicus. This has been settled matter for years and years, and you guys can't figure it out. It's another commercial break inside of the commercial break. Krissy and I want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for listening to this silly little podcast. So many kind notes, text messages, and voicemails, and you're always asking, what can we do to help support the show? How can we get involved? Visit tcbpodcast.com. Not only can you find all of the audio and all of the video there, you can press the Contact Us button and drop us an email. Questions, comments, concerns, or content ideas are all welcome, or you can hit us up on the TCB hotline, 661-237-8296. I don't need to tell you, but I will. That's 661, the word best, the number 2, Y-O-YO. We love our new YouTube videos, youtube.com/the commercial break. Our executive producer, Morgan, adds a layer of hilarity that I know you're going to enjoy. So go visit the YouTube channel, the one and only, very lonely, at the commercial break on Instagram. Don't forget to patron our sponsors whenever you're in the market for their products or services, and make sure you tell them the commercial break sent you by using the specialized URLs and or codes that we give during the commercial breaks. We know you're enjoying BTY Fridays, and we want to hear from you. There's just a couple more left. So please drop us a line and tell us which segment from an older episode you'd like to hear on Best to Yo Fridays. Now we got to pay some bills, so we'd really appreciate it if you'd stick around and take a listen. And then we'll be back to this episode of the commercial break. Grazie.
An avid cyclist dreams of turning his passion into a business. He consults his banker to help find the best path. Now bike wheels are being built, and all it took was a little push to get rolling. First Horizon Bank. Let's find a way. Go to firsthorizon.com/Clint.
Deep underground, the Jelly Belly factory, Bibi is in her secret laboratory creating the weird and wild flavors of Bean Boozled.
I started again.
Is it pomegranate or old bandage? Dare to compare. Bean Boozled, 6th edition. Are you brave enough?
So, Krissy, I was trolling on the internet.
Oh, as you do.
As I like to do, ladies and
you
gentlemen. New and old listeners of the commercial break. You know how I roll. I'm on the internet way too much. And hopefully I'll have one more year of marriage. I'll let you know if anything comes of it. But I troll on the internet, and that's how we find the stupid and absurd topics that we present here on the commercial break. And one of those topics that we touched on first 5 episodes, and we have never touched on again, is Flat Earth Society.
Oh, the old flat Earth.
The old Flat
Earthers.
One of the other things we like to do is watch our favorite morning show, which we affectionately refer to as those British people. And those British
Yes.
people are on ITV. So my two of my favorite subjects in the world came together. ITV
Collided.
morning show and Flat Earthers came together.
It was like an asteroid.
It was like literally an asteroid. You know what I'm saying? Call me, Elon. We'll put a new definition to that asteroid, if you know what I mean. Asteroid. Yeah. So, Krissy, I present to you without further ado one of our favorite, one of our early foils on the commercial break.
And I love these two.
The Flat Earth guy, and one of our favorite people to have those discussions
They're
about
really funny.
ITV The Morning Show.
They take it as serious.
They take it to the next level.
Well, most of us have spent our entire...
He's holding a globe.
He's holding
a blow up.
A blow up like a float.
Yeah.
You put the pool. It's
He's
a
like,
blow up globe.
Sir, I'm going to show you exactly what a globe looks like. Is this enough proof for you, sir? Everyone believes it. Since Copernicus.
Lives thinking that the Earth looks like this. But you can forget.
I love that lady. She's like, interesting. You don't say.
About that, because the Earth, in fact, well done, nicely caught, looks like this. This is what it is. It's flat.
He's got up like a CD with a picture of the Earth. This is the dumbest conspiracy theory
really
ever.
is.
It's so dumb.
Yeah.
It's so dumb. JFK, I get that one. JFK Jr., not so much. Flat Earth, it's just way out there. It's way out there that you would ever think for a minute that there is a grand conspiracy. To what end? To what end?
And it has a, just like Game of Thrones, it has
Just like
big ice wall surrounding it.
Mark Sargent is one of the leading voices in the flat Earth.
Oh, good old Mark Sargent. I don't know if you remember this, Krissy, but almost 2.5 years ago, we did a thing on Mark Sargent.
Yes.
Who told us the real reason why he got into flat Earth. Now, he is largely regarded as one of the leaders of the flat Earth movement here in this country. And Mark plays affable enough, and he pretends to be, I'm sure he is a nice guy. But if you remember, way back when, we played a clip as to why Mark's really in this. Because the guy asked him, do you get a lot of dates being a flat earther? And he responded,
That's right.
more than I could ever want. He responded that essentially...
So he's in it for the...
He's in it for the SpaceX. That's why he's in it for the SpaceX.
Yep.
Yes.
And he believes it's time that we all woke up and realised that we actually are living on a flat disc.
Well, Mark joins us now.
Welcome.
Good morning, Mark.
Welcome.
I mean, obviously, there are thousands of questions,
Yes.
which I'm sure you've been asked 1,000 times.
A few, yes.
Yeah. So, we believed for many years that the Earth was flat, and then science...
Yes, I understand that very much. But I'm getting laid now, so
Yeah.
I
gotta keep on this
I gotta
track.
keep on this track. I agree with you, but I get a lot of pussy when I'm talking about flat Earth.
Crazy.
Yeah.
comes along, and discovery comes along,
Right.
and we think, right, okay, now we can see that it's actually round.
Sure.
We've seen that it's round.
Sure.
So
Sure you did. Sure. Yeah.
He's such a fucking smug motherfucker.
He is smug.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Whatever you say.
You're wrong.
You've been buying into the NASA grand conspiracy.
You're wrong.
Because the globes, they've been selling globes. You know how much money they make off globes every year?
I mean, honestly, what could be, to what end?
I don't know.
To what end?
Exactly.
come, it's not.
It's not because we can't prove it's a globe. Everything that we've... In fact, it starts...
You are a fucking
Can't
moron.
prove it's a globe.
How can you not prove that it's a globe? Anyone that's done any experiment ever realizes that it's a globe. You guys take 2 strings and put it across a 3-foot creek and say, if it was around, it would bend. No, that's not true, you dum-dum. The Earth is so grand in size that you have to go miles and miles and miles in order
People
to start
have
seeing.
gone completely around.
Yes.
Around.
Well, then the planes would fly straight out of the atmosphere. No, they wouldn't, you fucking shithead. You know how a plane works. There's gravity. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
out with everybody that's in the flat Earth community starts out looking at the globe saying, can you prove it? Mm-hmm. Can you prove the globe, especially without using NASA? Because it's not that we found
without
out.
NASA? Why wouldn't we use NASA? They have all the data. Oh, my God. That's
yeah, especially just on your own.
That's like saying, figure out who's winning the baseball game without the scoreboard.
Right,
yeah,
exactly. Without ESPN.
umpires, yeah.
The world was a globe back in 1972, we knew for 5 centuries. So that's how everyone starts. You try to prove it in a court of law.
I flew...
In a court of law? Where are you going, Judge Judy? I mean, come on. Maury Povich?
What's the case?
We did DNA testing on the Earth. And the answer is, you are not flat! I mean, there's no case. What is the case?
Concorde, and I was lucky enough to fly in Concorde, and you get up to 65,000 feet, and I could see the curvature of the Earth. That was proof to me.
Well,
how come that wasn't true?
And yet I could show you weather balloon footage from 120,000 feet, and it's absolutely tabletop flat. And Neil deGrasse Tyson, the world's most famous scientist, no offense to Brian Cox, he'll come out and tell you, no civilian will ever be able to see the curvature of the Earth. Because
So is she lying?
No, I'm not saying that you're lying. I'm saying that you wanted to see the curvature. There's a big difference.
That's right. You wanted to see the curvature. Just the old, you'll see what you want to see
Right,
thing.
yeah,
It's not. Yeah. Krissy.
Prove it. It doesn't
Prove
prove
it. Prove it. I had a friend. Let me tell you this story here. I had a friend who went to a cocktail party one time, Christmas cocktail party. And he's upstairs and he's talking to a girl from the office. It's like an office party, Christmas party. He's talking to the girl from the office, and he is drunk as a skunk. And he's playing his real douchey card, right? I think he's trying to smooth on her a little bit.
Is this you?
No.
Okay. All right, just want to check.
No, it's not.
A friend.
Yeah, but I'd like to thank our sponsor, the Flat Earth Society.
Tito's Vodka.
Tito's Vodka.
For all your Christmas
Tito's
party
Vodka,
needs.
yeah. For the best blind dates, get Tito's. For your second date, get the Well Vodka. The Tito's is Well Vodka, isn't it?
No.
Oh, it's not?
It's premium.
Oh, I thought Tito's was like the shit you put in.
No, it's good.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't drank it in a while. I guess I'm out of the bar scene. So he goes upstairs and he's up at the top of this bar and he's outside smoking a cigarette with this girl and he starts smoothing on her, but she doesn't like him and he doesn't like her. They've never really liked each other, right?
Oh,
But so I guess he's just drunk and putting the game on her. And she says, "You know what, dude? You're a real fucking asshole." That's what she says. And he retorts the following: "Prove it. You can't prove it." And I think that's the best line in the prove it. You can't prove that. I think that's the best line in the history of Earth.
Really,
You want to know why?
Go along with anything.
Yeah, because anything that you say, prove it, right? It's like you can always make a case for something. But you have to take all the information in totality and use that little flat Earth brain of yours and figure it out there, Mark.
But don't you want to believe that it's flat? You have no proof. I have more proof than you do.
I would challenge that.
Well, I've got footage here that's direct from the space station, and that's live pictures from the space station now.
Right,
that's all alive.
Again, started from the American military. Yes, absolutely.
Started from the American military. Here we go. Yeah, but I think they have to. I think they have to blur it out because they can't use the actual space. Like they can't use NASA's cameras on air. I think I have no idea.
Okay,
but clearly you can see that the Earth is round.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
it's worse than that.
So what is that then? What am I looking at if I'm not looking at live pictures?
You're looking at CGI, nothing more. Something that started out very simple back in the 1950s and advanced till
Hollywood.
today.
yeah, I'm Hollywood. All those fucking Hollywood types. They're all responsible for everything. Bill Gates and Zach Galifianakis, they're all in on it.
A bit of a space nut,
sure.
And so no. I mean, I'm very happy with that,
right.
And I've got the app on my phone, which
very
has got where the
happy with
space
the fact
station
that
is.
I'm a space nut.
I'm very happy with the fact that I actually believe in facts. Mark. Mark's sweating. He is sweating. Yeah, this is an uncomfortable position for him to be.
This is a hot topic for our British dude.
Yeah.
He said
he's
space
all
nut.
over
Yeah.
it. Yeah. See, the thing is that Mark's comfortable in his little gang of 15 people that also believe his bullshit, right? But he's not comfortable confronting real people. Now, I don't think Neil deGrasse Tyson actually said that the Earth is flat. I would argue that.
Yeah.
Maybe he said that no civilian from Earth will ever see that the Earth is curved. But if you go up in a plane on a long distance flight, like from here to over the Atlantic, you will see see the curvature of the Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, and I have in the past looked at those live pictures, and I have seen where the space station is and thought, right, it's coming over me now. And so I have watched the space station. You can see it as that light. It doesn't blink, doesn't flash, goes over as a solid light. And at the same time, I've looked at my laptop and I've seen where I am.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not saying there's something up there. No question. Is there a vehicle that could be the ISS up there? Yeah. Are there people inside it? No. Not a chance. And you can look at the interior footage and the production value is horrible. I challenge anybody. We've got...
This is fucking insane.
I know.
This is insane.
What is this guy?
Why do you want to disbelieve this? What is the purpose of trying to rewrite hundreds and thousands of years of history?
Pudenda. That's what it is.
This episode brought to you by Pudenda. Pudenda, the soft, warm, and sometimes wet family friend.
Family friend.
It's like a chia pet, only with feelings. Pudenda. Now on sale at pudenda.com. Tell them the commercial break sent you.
I've interviewed, both of us, we've interviewed Tim Peake from this sofa.
I know. And
so what was I doing? Who was I talking to? Where was he?
You were talking to a military officer, nothing more. I talked to Terry Virts, American astronaut. And look, they're all, you got to remember, everybody that goes up there are high-ranking military. They start out at colonel and go...
Why would he bother?
Why would you bother faking it?
Yeah, why? What's the point of faking it?
Well, that's one of the...
I'm getting laid.
Yeah, exactly.
So, it wasn't something that was happening a lot before Flat Earth Society. So if you don't mind, I'd just like to keep this rolling for a few more minutes. This is a really bad decision, me coming on this show. I'm going to go back to my Flat Earth conference where everyone believes me, and I get laid a whole lot.
Yeah.
Bigger questions, which is why keep this thing a secret? And we're talking about...
No, but why fake it?
Because if you don't fake it, eventually the private industry is going to get involved. And then they're going to find out on their own.
He's showing this flat Earth. It's like a plate. Well, everyone's seen this by now.
It's like a kid's kindergarten project.
It's like a record that's kid painted over. And it's got a picture of all of the continents, and then there's an ice ring around it. He says that the military wants to hide it so the private industry doesn't get involved. What? Who's looking for the edge of the earth? And for what reason? Oh my God.
And why that would be bad? Because
if you don't keep this thing a secret, remember we're talking about something that was discovered back in 1960. The public wasn't ready in 1960. They just weren't. Their potential academically, economically, religiously, chaos, potentially. And so they weren't going to take that chance.
So chaos.
Everything's flat! My whole world has changed except nothing changed. We're sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your president, Brian Greene speaking.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the President of the United States, Brian Greene. In this year, 1969, in the year of our Lord, 19,069, I've got some information I must now present to you. Please, try and stay calm. The Earth is flat, surrounded by an ice ring. Kind of like if you put a record upside down and then you surround it with ice, that's what it is. Now, don't go crazy, but we're going to turn it on its side and everyone's going to fall off. But we don't want private industry involved.
No.
People jumping out of windows. On Tuesday, we're going to turn it upside down and shake it loose. We've got to dust it off a little bit. So stupid. This guy is so dumb. And he is sweating, shitting bricks. He knows that he's full of shit.
He does.
And he's hoping amongst hope he finds a friend in this couch, but he's not going to find one.
No.
So pilots are involved in this?
No, not at all. No. Pilots, scientists, none of those people. I have astrophysicists, Brian Cox. None of them have anything to do with it.
Okay, so
why do you keep mentioning Brian Cox? Is that like your buddy? That's like somebody you want to be friends with?
All of those people,
right?
Every NASA science, everyone who's scientist, everyone who's ever been involved at any stage in any space program, whether it's industry that launches satellites, the various people that launch those satellites, everyone that's ever worked on the space shuttle or the Apollo program, they're
Brian
all...
Cox.
No. Brian Cox. No, none of them are in it. Not Brian Cox. Email me, Gary@dipshit.com.
Pointless?
No. I mean, jobs are created. It's compartmentalization. I mean, it's no different. Look, generals know the battle plans, but most of the officers below them don't.
Were the Apollo, those massive Apollo rockets?
We've been to the moon, right?
Were those Apollo rockets that went up into the air? Did they go?
You're really asking me the tough questions now.
We've been to the moon, right?
Can you turn these lights down? It's hot in here. Can we take a break? I gotta figure out some answers.
They didn't go anywhere. They just went off into the ocean and ditched. That was. Again, I'm an American. Look, we're taught. Rah rah, go team, wave the flag, and so it's tough for me.
Go team!
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your president speaking one more time. I'd like everyone to put their flags down, put their pom-poms down for a second. We've actually been lying to you this entire time. Mark here has brought it to our attention that the Earth is actually a plate. and that there's ketchup on the left-hand corner of it. It's sliding toward North America. We're all going to die in a horrible ketchup-related accident. I got to go into the underground bunker now, but you guys take care.
Because I love the American space program.
So you flew in a straight line to get here.
I did fly in a straight line to get here.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you've got this. So we've got a dome over the top.
Yeah. So let me do this real quick. So the globe that you threw away.
Yeah, let me do this. This usually works.
Let me
tell you this bullshit.
Look at this snow globe, for instance.
Oh yeah, it's snow globe. Snow globe. So you're saying that when they make those snow globes, there's people in the know. They make those snow globes in Taiwan. Everyone's in on it.
Talking about is we are all taught that we live on this tiny little rock that's covered in a little bit of water and smoke. We're flying through this impossible vacuum of space. We're saying that we live on a flat, enclosed world that is basically, you're basically living in a big soundstage with walls and a floor and a ceiling.
The Truman Show.
The Truman Show. Yeah, very, very, very similar.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know they took it this far. Yeah. I didn't know they took it this far. They believe we're living on a soundstage?
Yeah.
On a soundstage.
Mm-hmm. Hollywood.
Who built it? Hollywood.
And the military.
Fuck, man.
Generals.
Fuck. Those fucking Kardashians, I bet you.
Yeah.
Kardashians own everything.
Kardashians. They are living in their world.
Yeah. If there's a soundstage, the Kardashians own it. You know they do.
That is so big that even our best and brightest didn't figure it out until about 1960. And when they did decide to keep it a secret, the really, really short version is you don't live on a globe. This is what it looks like on the outside. That's what it looks like on the inside. There you go.
So I'm
convinced. Well, that's it. Debate settled.
Mic drop.
Ladies and gentlemen, your president again here from the Oval Office. I've just had a conference here with Mark. Mark is an esteemed pseudoscientist. He used to work in the pharmaceutical industry.
The pharmaceutical.
He just laid out his case for the Earth being flat, and I've had all my top men in here that's meeting with me, and we're convinced.
Yep.
He laid it out. He said, "Here's this flat, like this," and clearly, the burden of proof was on him.
I mean, he flew in a straight line to get here.
He flew in a straight line to get here. He's sweating profusely, but we still believe him.
This is crazy. This is
We just fall off the edge.
For the same reason, the space asteroid question. Yeah. So why don't...
the space asteroid question. The old space asteroid question. I've had to answer this a lot. Here's just more bullshit for you.
Same reason why you don't fall off the edge here. Antarctica is the only continent that doesn't look like anything else. All the other continents in here look perfectly fine. Antarctica, though, and it's not necessarily an ice wall, it's just Antarctica, this really, really, really high continent.
So you think Antarctica is all the way around?
Yep.
So where's the North Pole?
North Pole's in the center. North Pole's in the center. South Pole doesn't exist. Compasses don't work down in Antarctica. Most people don't talk about that. The Antarctic Treaty says that no corporation...
The Antarctic Treaty. He's pulling that one out. I wonder if Mark knows exactly why the compasses don't work in Antarctic. And that is because of the polarity of the Earth and has nothing to do with the actual continent. It has to do with the poles, and the poles are constantly moving. But Mark here is too brilliant to figure that. Mark here is too brilliant to pay attention to that.
In the history of the world can set up shop down there forever.
What's outside?
That's a tough one, isn't it?
Well,
I mean, because it could be
no clue.
Well, I mean, if you can't get outside, you're not going to know for sure. But I mean, I don't think, my personal opinion is this isn't a one-off. There's not just one of these. There's more.
So we've got a picture of what you think what it's.
Oh yeah. That was made by one of our people.
Wait, why is O'Reilly's pictures blurry?
I don't know.
I don't understand. What, are they copyrighted the flat Earth?
Great option.
Have they been there? Have they seen that?
No, of course not.
Okay.
So
there's a hole in the wall there. There's a hole.
No.
There's a hole in the wall.
Yeah.
So can you go through that and go to the other places?
Again, flat Earth opens the minds of people. Most of the flat Earthers will stick with
Flat Earth opens the mind of people.
I mean, I wasn't really awoken until
Mark laid it out. He basically made his case by throwing that flat disc on the table and saying, that's it. There you go. Boom. That's how it happens. Okay, lots more to get to. We'll follow up on that. But I think you get the gist of it.
Yeah.
Mark's a dum-dum. Mark's a moron. Did you get that? You pick up on that? If that's what you took away from the video, then you're great. If what you took away from the video is the Earth might be flat, the commercial break may not be the podcast for you.
It's not for everyone.
Speaking of not for you, the commercial break brought to you by the commercial break.
We're sponsors of ourselves.
We're sponsoring ourselves. Which is I was in a clubhouse room one time, and someone actually made that suggestion. They were like, you got all that free inventory. You need to be promoting yourself. Make your own commercials. And I was like, so someone came to your podcast to find out about your podcast, to listen to your podcast. It's so meta. It's awesome. I love it. But hey, listen, to each their own,
To
Krissy.
each their own, as we like to say.
If you're not hurting anybody, whatever. If you're a flat earther and you're not hurting anybody, whatever. I just have to point out, it's a pretty dumb conspiracy theory.
It really
is. The Earth is not indeed flat. It is round. There's plenty of scientific evidence. I think you just experiments you can do yourself to find out if the Earth is round.
Yeah.
Yeah, like sending yourself into this SpaceX vehicle. Hey, maybe we can be the first, like,
Podcast?
brothel and podcast in space.
The brothel?
Yeah.
The brothel space?
That's right, brothel space.
Yeah. Similar to MySpace.
Yeah, but brothel space.
Yeah.
Where everyone goes into space and has sex for money. I love it. I'm all about it.
Yeah.
Sex work is work.
That's
and
right.
if you'd like to contact us, all you have to do is go to the brand new tcbpodcast.com. Hit the contact us button. Let us know if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or content ideas. We would love to hear them. As a matter of fact, we love it when people send us content ideas. If you have a story to tell, write it down. Better make it good, because we've had a lot of people send in stories, and they're all very good. But do that at tcbpodcast.com.
We're still waiting on a follow-up from Peter.
Still waiting.
so-
Yeah, we'll let you know if Pete writes back in. He might be scared. He might have gone underground.
Yeah.
He might have fallen off the flat earth. 661-237-8296.
Scared and went underground.
661-BEST, the number 2, YOYO, at The Commercial Break on Instagram, the brand new channel, youtube.com/The Commercial Break. Go there. The videos are funny. Morgan's doing a great job. You're going to love the way that the full episodes are edited. It adds so much color. Okay, Krissy, that's all I can do today.
That's right.
I love you.
I love you.
Best to you.
Best to
And best to you out there in the
you.
podcast universe. Until next time, Krissy and I always say we do say we must say bye.
Deep underground, the Jelly Belly factory, BB is in her secret laboratory creating the weird and wild flavors of Bean Boozled.
I've done it again.
Is it pomegranate or old bandage? Dare to compare. Bean Boozled, 6th edition. Are you brave enough? Deep underground, the Jelly Belly factory, BB is in her secret laboratory creating the weird and wild flavors of Bean Boozled.
I've done it again.
Is it pomegranate or old bandage? Dare to compare. Bean Boozled, 6th edition. Are you brave enough?